Hi everyone, welcome to Fairfax Pilates. I'm Brittany and today's workout is going to be reformer workout, full body. I don't like to use the word intense because you can certainly adjust for all levels, but I'm going to have quite a few athletic conditioning options and some intermediate exercises. I'll use two props today. I have a light fitness ring. Okay, so you can use that, and then also a playground ball. So these are both optional. I'll show you how you can do the exercises without them, but to up the fire on some of the moves, we're going to use these two props. So that said, go ahead and measure your reformer so that it's appropriate for your height and leg length, and I'll meet you right back here. Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's get right into it. So we're going to set up our machine for footwork. That is 3 red springs. Put the headrest where it's comfortable for you. And then as you lie down here, just before we begin, take a couple of deep breaths and just kind of really settle your body onto the machine. When you're ready, the heels are together, toes apart, and let's press out for footwork. We're going to change our feet to parallel. Go right onto the arches of the feet. Legs can be connected together, adducted, or hip distance. I chose hip distance today. Next, we'll change our feet onto the heels, drawing the toes back towards you in dorsiflexion. Next, we'll travel up onto our high half toe. Toes up off the bar, as are the heels. Go ahead and lift those heels nice and high. And as you come in, you're keeping those feet still. So we don't want to keep the heels high the whole time, just as you extend the knees like you're slipping into a pair of high heels. Right into a run, stretch out the calves, work the ankles. Next, we'll come in and do a wide second position and then rotate the knees in. So mobilizing the hip joint. We are laterally rotated as you press away, and then internally rotate the thighs as you return back towards the foot bar. From here, we're going to move into some bridging. Keeping those springs on the machine, we're just going to articulate from our tail to the top, stretching out the spine and really starting to build some strength in the low back. Legs are going to remain parallel. And then once we're at the top, we're going to repeat tucks. I'm not lifting and lowering the entire shape. I am tucking the tail under, pelvic tucks. All right, let those legs sway right and left and just stretch out the back. We're going to rise back up to the top. Let's go ahead and extend one leg up. Flex the heel as you lower and point as you rise. Signaling here from the brain to the tippy toes. Switching the legs, trying to keep those hips stable. Place the foot back down. We're gonna roll our way back down to the mat. Let those knees windshield wiper right and left before we rise up. All right, so we've got some rather challenging abs in store. The ball is going to go behind us here, feet on the headrest. The lower the ball, the harder. You can place your hands really anywhere you want. I like to start with my arms reaching forward so I can get this long arm circle to come back up. Imagine you're just laying back over the ball, articulating the spine from tail to top as you drape your body over. And feel free to put your hands on your forehead or behind the head. Really, whatever suits you. We're going to change the ball, place it between the knees. And now as you roll back, not only are you going to squeeze the knees, but you're going to gently press the heels into the edges of the shoulder blocks. So you get sort of inner thighs, outer thighs, and it allows you to go a little bit deeper through your lower back. And from here, let's go ahead and just squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze. Yep, it hurts, I know. And reach the arms above the head and down, challenging the stability of your core and also really challenging the upper abs in particular. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna just give you an option here. If you don't want to do the exercise I have in mind here, you can just put the ball down at the ankles and just do some half roll backs. Otherwise, suit up here. We're gonna put the ball in our low back, hands behind the head. All right, we are leaning back and we're rising up to a knee that is tabletop. Leaning back, lengthening the leg toward the tower side, lengthen, crunch, lengthen, crunch. If this bothers your low back, you're gonna put the ball higher. All right, adding that twist. Yes, yes, I know, it's hard. I'm hurting too. It makes you feel better. If your hip flexors are the loudest muscle right now, then you want to do a lateral rotation at the thigh. Give your hip flexor a break. Otherwise, just keep on keeping on here. After about 8 or so, you can start into the rotation. Keeping the leg extending straight forward and rotating from the rib cage as you reach toward the side and across to the knee. Fire, fire, fire. All right, so just holding on here as I'm allowing my upper body to rest over that ball and elongate the spine and stretch out the rectus abdominis. I think we've earned ourselves a stretch. So we're gonna just put on one spring here is adequate. And we're gonna bring our foot bars up, pressing back and lengthen the spine. We're gonna bring both hands to one side and then just cat-cow just a little. So we're rounding up through the spine as we rise, and then you're lengthening and extending the spine as you press out. Right, from here we are going to grab our springs and head into some back rowing. Make sure you're seated with your butt just forward, about a hand's width. All right, knuckles together, center of chest. We're going to scoop through the tummy and then we're going to roll forward, lengthen and reach. So I'm adding on a little stretch here because it just feels so lovely. Scoop from the tummy and tail and then roll forward, trying to create some space at the hip joint. All right, we're gonna switch those feet. You've got them crisscrossed, curl back, Every time you go back, you're just trying to create that little bit of opening in front of the hip flexor. You should feel the length in the back of the hamstrings as you stretch forward into the low back as you lean back, and also some warmth in the lower abs. We're going to curl back, and now the next time we're going to go back here, we are going to begin adding some rotation. So get yourself situated here, curve under, and we're going to twist. As you move here, make sure you're only moving from the ribs. Open those arms and try to extend the arms straight and get a little movement on that carriage so that you really work that lower arm, the tricep on the lower arm. And then we're back into the middle and dive all the way forward. All right, going right back into our flat back series. Just keep adjusting the legs so we're even. Lean back. Press, keep those arms by the ears as your back hinges forward. Now scoop through the tummy, press the arms back and around, they circle towards the feet. It's kind of like sort of a butterfly stroke. So you're lifting and lengthening from your tail to your fingertips. Scoop your tummy up. Here's that butterfly kind of going up and around like you're trying to get those arms out of the water. And then we rebuild to tall back. Inhale overhead, exhale forward. Scoop through the tummy. Inhale, those arms circle around. Exhale, and then we rebuild to tall. Perfect. We're gonna switch into lower body here. So grab your ring if you want it. You're gonna lie down on your back. We only need one strap at a time here. So just go ahead and put one away. We're gonna get one foot in the strap, and then we're gonna place the ring between both ankles. So once you get here, it feels a little funny, so make sure that you're in the center, make sure that you're holding the ring evenly. And then we're gonna begin by just bending the knees in and then pushing the legs forward. So we're gonna connect that signaling as well. As you push forward, go ahead and point the toes. We inhale, flex the ankle, knee, and hip. Exhale, we reach. Every time you extend those legs, give that ring a little hug. Squeeze. Bend in, press, squeeze. Lifting the legs up, and then exhale, take them forward. Lift and press. We are not squeezing the ring, we are just holding on to it. Now we're going to laterally rotate and repeat. Now squeeze, 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 squeeze. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go ahead and bend in. Now let's put the feet inside the ring. And as we press those legs out, we are working those abductors on the outside of the outer hip. Pressing the legs forward, driving through those heels will recruit the back of the legs more than if you point. So we're going to press those heels forward and slightly wide. So you're pressing against the resistance of the ring. Now just squeezes. Pressing out, just on repeat. And then we're going to take the legs out of there. Just give yourself a little stretch. You're going to allow the leg to open wide to the side, maybe across the body. Whatever feels nice there. Just give yourself a little break. Switching feet, we're going to put that opposite foot in the same strap. So We now feel it working on the outside of the leg. We're going to go into some circles here, out and around, lifting up and then out and around. You want to make sure that your obliques are firing here. If you place your hands at your hips, you will feel them. Inhale up and then exhale around. Gonna feel it all on the back side of the leg. All right, let that leg go across the body and just stretch. Okay, now we're going to keep that on the left side of the body for a single arm mid-back series. Grab the ball and let's stick it between the knees. All right, we're going to find a strong tabletop, and then we're just lifting and lowering that straight arm. Challenge is in keeping your body right in the middle. As the arm goes wider and wider, you'll find it more challenging to keep your body in the center. So we're going to do 8 and then move to a diagonal. And then out to the side for the letter T. Try to rest the rest of your body, face, neck, throat, chest, all relaxed. And then we're going to go into our tricep, bending and then pressing the arm to straight. I like to float the elbow. You're welcome to keep your arm grounded. And then we're going to move through some circles, straight up, to the side, and around. And then we're going to switch sides. So we're done with that strap altogether. We're going to grab the opposite strap. We're going to switch out our props. We need the ring, 1 foot in the strap. So now we're going to the right leg, and we're going to put the ring between the ankles. This one's going to feel weird after changing everything around, changing sides, making sure you're in the middle, and then start with that bend and stretch. Remember that signaling, bending the knees in, and then point as you press and squeeze. Bend in, breathe in, push out, breathe out. We're going to lift and lower those legs to slightly parallel here. Now lateral, so turn those toes apart. Gonna hold those legs forward and then just repeat those inner thigh squeezes. Let's slip the ring on the outside of the feet. You can just bend those knees in and out here, pressing through the heel of the foot. And we're going to go up and down with those legs, slightly internal rotation. That means that the toes are slightly inward of the heels, so we really get those abductors at the hip joint. we're gonna go ahead and take those feet out. Switching over into the opposite foot. Free legs and tabletop. Let's go in and out here a few times. And then we'll move into some circles, making sure as you go wide that the rope doesn't come down so low that it would touch your face. The magic is in moving the leg toward the body, not away from it. As we finish up some of these circles, we're going to move into that stretch. Just take the leg across the body. And then we didn't do the stretch as we switch sides, so go ahead and get that other leg in there too. Don't leave that one out. Alright, and then we're going to go into the single arm series next. Put the ball between the knees, and we're going to just begin straight up and down with the right arm. And then we're going to move into the diagonal. Pay attention and notice if your right and your left feel equal in strength and also in stability. While the arms might have the same strength, notice if your body feels as centered as it did on the first side. If not, it is your obliques that are uneven. And take the arm out to the side. And we'll move into those triceps. Elbow floats, or it can anchor, up to you. And then we'll move through circles. Up, to the side, and then around. Next, we're going to go through elephants to warm up for our up stretch. Let's get a red and a blue on. You can do a red and a white if you prefer. Heavy heels flat up against the shoulder blocks. Relax through the neck and shoulders. We're going to keep our weight over the heel. Rounded through the spine. We're going to press the heels back on our inhale. Exhale, flex the waist, pulling up toward the ceiling to stretch the low back. Changing it into our flat back, high half toe, flat back elephant, out and in with the legs. All right, let's reposition for our up stretch. You're gonna stay in that flat back to start, high half toe, weight over feet. Pressing the legs back, articulate from tail to top, coming forward as a plank and then rounding through the upper back, hips over heels as we finish. The intent is to articulate the vertebrae of the spine. Pressing those legs back, down, 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 down from tail to top, and then forward, and we flex all the way up. Roll forward, take it back, and then we lift through the tailbone and round it in. Take that rounded shape forward, find that plank, and then lift and lengthen. We're just doing up stretch in reverse. One more. Take it over the foot bar, up, and then lift the tail to draw it home. All right, so we're gonna go into our long back stretch. So best way to get in is from the side of the machine. One hand on the bar, one foot against the shoulder block, the other hand follows suit. We're gonna keep our back flat, sink and press straight down, bend the elbows, tuck the tail, and then pull back, long back, curve, and then a neutral spine. Notice the difference in the back. Tuck, and then pull forward, lengthen out, reverse, coming in close, finish it with that tricep press. Scoop the tail forward, down we go, and up, reach, come all the way in and up, and then we carefully come off. All right, so that one is effective for those triceps, right, and our low back. We're gonna move into our lat pulls in reverse. So one weight spring is plenty. Thighs against the shoulder blocks. We're gonna place our hands on the frame slightly forward of the shoulders. And then let's just pull the body forward with our lats. The effort is coming from our armpits here. Now we can go into like a reverse crunch here, keeping the shoulders stable, and we flex the spine to use that resistance to challenge the rectus abdominis. Moving into our single leg variation, pull just a slight bit forward, one leg back, and the leg is our mover. Let's keep the leg in neutral, the toe and the knee point at the earth as we take it to the side and center. Meanwhile, everything is stable across the shoulder girdle. If that is too difficult, you certainly do not have to move the carriage. You can stay docked and just get the lower body working. Switching sides, pull forward, one leg back, and we widen the leg and return. So we're going to switch our springs, one white and one red spring for our down stretch. Weight is over the legs. We're going to lengthen the spine, find that extended spine drop, drop, drop as low as possible, and then pull your shape up through your straight arms. Inhale as we travel forward. Exhale to support the weight of the body as we go back. Inhaling up. We do that 3 full times, and then we curve on the return. Let's take one foot up onto the foot bar. We're moving our way into front splits. So first we're going to just go into that split, get a little stretch, get the feel for the resistance. One red and one white is what I'm using here. We're gonna lift up. So perhaps you wanna open your arms like a T for balance. Otherwise, your hands can go on your waist. And as you come back down, we're just going to drop the knee, keeping the foot on the foot bar, press the hips forward and open up that hip flexor, lifting the arm up and leaning away from our kneeling knee. Let's switch sides. Left foot on the bar, going right up into our split stretch. Keep a good position on the forward foot, right at the ball of the foot. And then we're coming up and we're going to find that balance. Find something that is stationary to keep your gaze. And we're pressing and bending the knee. Let's remain level in the shoulders as you go backward and forward. So now we're putting our hands back down, gently coming down. Drive the hips forward and get that lunging stretch. Reaching the arm overhead and slightly side to open up the hip flexors. Okay, we're going to change gears here and go to some upper body. A single blue spring is my choice today. Feel free to make this heavier or lighter based on your needs. We're going to use the back strap. Okay, so let's grab the one behind you. The legs are holding onto the ball, and we're going to do a press with a rotation. Hand is shoulder height, and we're going to actively squeeze the ball as we rotate. After 8, we're going to go overhead with a lateral stretch, driving the arm up, side bend. We're going to switch hands. Now, I always tell people to grab the end of the black loop first and experiment for that sword pull. If it's too light, move up to that top D ring. Notice how straight and neutral the wrist is. You want to keep your wrist in an imaginary cast. The only moving parts will be the shoulder and the elbow, not the wrist. Of course, we're going to turn around and do that on the other side. We're going to grab the strap in the back, placing the ball just between the knees to start to challenge those inner thighs. And we begin with a chest press with a twist. Inhale to rotate toward the tower, and exhale to press away. Alright, so after we finish these rotations, we're going to go right into the overhead press with a lateral bend. You're headed toward your foot bar there, legs are stationary. Make sure the lateral bend is from the waist. Alright, moving right into that sword pull. If you choked up on the first side, try to repeat that here. Leading with the elbow, and then the arm extends fully. Okay, we are going to go ahead and hang up the strap, coming off the machine here, and we are going to move into the stomach massage next. Alright, now, stomach massage has 2 red springs as the standard. I like it to be super light so that you feel the abs a lot more. I'm going to use a blue and a white. Now, some people like that foot bar all the way to the top. You can also drop it down a little. Alright, get yourself in position, heels together, toes apart. Press the legs out, lower lift those heels, and then think pull from your belly button to bring the carriage back into the carriage, or to the foot bar. So we lift up on those heels, press out, lower lift the heels, and then exhale, come home. All of this is an inhale breath, exhale to come home. Placing the hands behind you to create more of that teaser back, that J shape, long upper back, curved low back. So if we're ready for a little bit of a bigger challenge, we're going to reach down there and grab that ring, get your feet back up in the same spot, heels, toes apart, heels together, and then we're going to press out and turn, and then come back in, and then rotate other way. Hold that ring as the side as you lower lift those heels, and then return, out we go, lower lift, and then return. Little squeezes, just keeping yourself right there in space. Other side, and twist and squeeze and squeeze. And then all the way back in. Now, try lifting overhead and lower lift those heels. Just adding the arm element will challenge the upper abs more than you think. Okay, moving on here to a nice stretch. Just place the heels up on the foot bar, and then you're gonna just keep those knees bent as you push out and really just pressing up into the tippy toes, stretch the low back, and then you're going to just try to sink those heels. You do not have a lot of resistance on the carriage, so you have to use the muscles to do the stretch. Maybe you're going to do a slow motion run in place, allowing one knee to bend to encourage more of a length on the back of the straight leg. And then bend your knees and come all the way back in. All right, set those 2 red springs all the way to the wide edges, and then let's drop that foot bar down to the second notch from the bottom there. You want it to be just over the platform. Scooch forward, we're getting into semicircle. The hardest part is getting in, and then it's lovely. You want to get those arms all the way out straight, and then reposition the feet to first. Lift those heels up, or lift those hips up, and now we're going to press the body straight back and then articulate from top to tail. Stay low with the belly, and then we're going to lift up as we return. Articulate top to tail, coming down, and then we scoop our way to the top. Do 3 or 4 in each direction, dropping the reverse direction. So my hips are so low that they're actually brushing against the spring. That's why we want to use those wide springs. Give room for your buns to go right in the center. And then when you come all the way back in, just slide back up into that comfortable start position. Let those legs just sway side to side there a little. Headrest is going flat, and we're preparing for some mat-based ab exercises. So we're going to lengthen those legs over the head like rollovers. Hip height, hip distance, and come down with control. I am grabbing the back side of the carriage so that I can concentrate on the form being absolutely perfect and just really articulating with control both up and down. Point together overhead, flex up and down. So just playing with our balance here before we go into our jackknife. Legs go up, squeeze through the glutes, keeping the weight in the abs here and right in the shoulders. And then we're going to come down with control. All the way down. Send the legs over. Okay, right, we're gonna do a little side to side here. Just stretch out that low back, stretch out the waist. People tend to tighten on this one, so just move around as you need to wiggle things out. All right, here we go. Long legs overhead. We're gonna go towards the ceiling with those feetsies. Try to stay on the shoulder blades, not the neck. Throw in a little control balance here. Just test your balance, test your strength. One leg up, one foot creeps back towards the frame of the machine. And then we're going to keep those legs up, and we're trying not to let the legs drop on the belly as you come down, letting the leg weight challenge the abs. All right, let's go ahead and just rest the feet down. That little windshield wiper action with the legs will feel amazing right about now. All right, and then just let your body recover. Just take a couple of breaths here. Let's do some bridging just to undo that hip flexor work we just had with those mat-based moves. Scooping the tail up and then slowly going down a couple of times. And then maybe when you get up into that bridge, you'll give it a pause just for a second and just really feel that opening in the front of the thigh and the hip. Move around as you need to here to just let everything go. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a little bit challenging, but I hope you loved it. Let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see more of. Here's another one you might love. See you next time, guys. Thanks so much.